This loaded soup is hearty and comforting, and it has one surprise ingredient, sourdough starter. My next guest promises it will change the way you thicken your soup. We're putting our trust in sourdough expert Lori Vaughn. Hi, Lori.
Hello.
I was just saying this smells so good. I've never thought about sourdough in my soup.
Unexpected.
Is this an experiment that have you heard about this where you just like, I'm gonna try it? Where did this come from?
Yeah, so we are all familiar with sourdough in terms of the bread. I think that's old news by now.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people don't realize is how versatile sourdough is in everything else. I use it as a substitute for buttermilk. I use it for thickening gravies, everything. So this year I wanted to kind of put it to the test and try even more things. So on my Instagram, we're doing it like a Will It Sourdough series. And every week I'm trying something new, maybe something a little unexpected to see all the things we can put sourdough in, including soup.
I love your beautiful brain. This is not something that I think most of us would maybe think about, but your beautiful brain is like, this is going to work. It's going to make the soup yummier, better. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, is this going to make the soup a sour?
I know you're worried. This is where people raise the eyebrow. It's where they raise the eyebrow. So there's sourdough that is fed and bubbly, and we use that to leaven our baked goods. So I used it to make sourdough soup bowls. I use it to make anything that leaven, bagels. But when you don't feed it, it's called its unfed state or discard state. That is super versatile too. So I put it in my cookies. You can use it as a substitute for like sour cream or Greek yogurt in cakes and muffins, things like that. So in soup, it actually acts as a roux. A roux is a thickening agent. You normally use flour and butter. This is just a matured substance of flour in a liquid that we're also going to use to thicken.
It's so smart. When you break it down this way, I'm like, well, duh. Well, duh, it's going to work.
Yeah, but it's not going to taste sour. What it's going to do, so I'm going to throw in some vegetables here. I'll show you how easy this soup is. What it's going to do, so people are like, well, why? Why not just add a normal roux? Well, the difference is this is loaded with healthy bacteria. Our gut needs bacteria, right? We think bacteria is a bad word. We need it to survive. And it's loaded with probiotics. So if you're going to use something to thicken anyway, it might as well be something that's loaded with all the good stuff.
Might as well be something good that your kids don't even know is good for them, by the way.
No,
vegetables,
they don't know. My son actually will eat this soup, and my husband too, and they're particular eaters. I won't say picky.
Your 5-year-old and your adult husband.
Yes, so it's a win. These are all that you said it smells good. This is what you're smelling. All of those spices, we're adding dill, parsley, salt, pepper, all the yummy things. Let that saute for a little bit. And then here comes the fun part when we're gonna add our discard.
Okay, yes. So this is the discard. This isn't the starter.
Right, you don't want the fed. You use it a fed starter when you want it to be like a yeast. When you want it to leaven, right?
All right.
We're not looking to leaven this soup, we're just looking to thicken. So first I'm gonna add some half and half just to give it a little bit of a
creamy
base. Yes, you could use milk, you could even just keep it brothy. Okay, now I'm gonna add about a half a cup, about 125 grams of discard.
And you can just put that in your brain because you work with sourdough so much.
This to me is 125 grams.
This feels right. This feels right.
Yep.
I feel it.
So we're gonna mix that together.
Look at that automatically thicken up.
I know, right?
That was so fast.
There's your roux.
Yes.
Okay. Now this is also optional, but for extra, if you want to really make a rich soup, add a little cream cheese.
I mean, who's saying no to cream cheese?
Add a little garlic.
Who's telling me that? Yummy.
Let this thicken up.
Okay.
Heat up a little bit. Add some chicken broth. I actually made this homemade just from some Costco rotisserie chicken.
You're amazing.
Super economical, super easy. Once this all melts down, you can add a starch. Like I add potatoes or I add noodles if your kids prefer noodles. At the end, you can do bacon and chicken, whatever you want, right? Sounds good?
Yes.
And then when you're done, this is what it turns to be, really creamy. It's creamy and flavorful, but still light. I don't love it like a super heavy soup, you know?
It is so beautiful. Is it weird that I think this soup is so beautiful? Yes, I'm like the rustic bread bowls. I mean, it looks like it's straight out of a recipe book, a cookbook.
And it won't, speaking
tell us about yours. Yes, tell us about, you caught onto my segue. Tell us about yours.
So especially if you're new to sourdough, you're just kind of jumping in, this is a great way to kind of hold your hand. So I walk through the process of how to make bread, but then a ton of other recipes. How to make things that leaven, and then how to make other things like my cookies and biscuits and things like that.
I mean, when you're looking at these pictures and you're looking at this food, I don't know how you're not just hopping on and buying this book. Where can we buy it?
It really opens up your world. So a few places that I'm online, a ton of recipes and tips on my Instagram, Lowe's Kitchen Co. My website is where you can find my book, and I add new recipes there all the time, loweskitchenco.com.
I love you as a follow. Honestly, the way that your brain works and thinks about starter and thinks about the way that it
opens up your world.
It does. And you make it feel so approachable, which I think is a talent in its own. Thanks so much, Lori.